Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Welcome to TrendSpider Live. My name is Mike, and today we got a few different things going on. We got the FOMC minutes coming in actually about 2 minutes from now. And then we also got DoorDash earnings coming in as well, along with all these stocks here in my earnings watch list for the day. We got Oxy, DoorDash, by the way, up 7% on the day. We have Carvana, crazy turnaround story. We'll cover there in a second. Figma is a pretty new one that I'll be interested in watching as well. We got eBay, BKNG, and Cake, CAKE. I believe that's Cheesecake Factory. But right now I have my SPY 5-minute chart open. And as you can see, I also have the new orb trading strategy indicator that we released just this week. Just posted a video on this indicator and all the tools that comes with the strategy and scanners and a bunch of other cool stuff as well with it that you can use here on the TrendSpider platform. So definitely be sure to check this out. If you can see right here, there was a long signal here on the 5-minute orb, and it just tapped the 3R price target not too long ago at about 1 p.m. Eastern time, I believe. But in any minute here, we should be getting some movement potentially with the FOMC minutes. So we'll see if anything happens in just a second. But if you guys are out there in the chat, let me know what you guys are watching for today. Going to be a pretty long live stream for today because we obviously are starting now, and then we're going to be going all the way until earnings at the end of the day. So if you're in the chat, say what's up. Tell me what you guys are watching. But yeah, we got 1 minute here until the FOMC minutes drops. So let's see if we get any movements. But if you guys didn't know, it's not an FOMC where, Powell is going to come out and speak and everything. It is basically just the minutes of the last time that he did speak. So let me actually flick over to the 1 minute chart for a second. Getting a little bit of movement, nothing crazy so far, but I mean, beautiful, beautiful orb setup on the day. Beautiful long signal. This is the 5-minute opening range breakout. You can see the opening range high was here at 689.03. Oh no, 684.38 was the high today. The low is like, what is this? 682.83. So basically the way the orb works, it's the opening range breakout. Whenever it breaks above or below the opening range candle, you would go long, and that's exactly why this signaled right here. It broke above, and yeah, it continued up all the way to the 3R price target. And the minutes just released. Let me see if there's anything in our news feed regarding this stuff. Not really yet. Let me actually go see if I can find the minutes for us. But again, let me know what you guys are out there watching if you're in the chat. What is going on, Psycho Noia? Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you in today. Let's see. Looking just for the FOMC minutes right now. The Fed calendar. But again, it's really, I was actually live for the last FOMC announcement. So if you guys want to see it in real time, you guys can go ahead and check that out. But here in the chat below, I will drop the actual minute release if you guys want to go ahead and read it. It's just a PDF on the FOMC's site. But yeah, interesting stuff there. But yeah, as you can see, the market really didn't react too hard off of it. Let me open up my stock market map and see where the money is moving today. By the way, TrendSpider is on sale right now, you guys. You guys can get 40% off of a subscription if you guys have been waiting to try. Now is a great time to go ahead and do so. If not, if you just want some free stuff, you can use the link down below in the description, first link in the YouTube description below, and in the chat to get our free stock market newsletter sent straight to your inbox every single Sunday for free. But let's see where the money is flowing. So I'm going to open my stock market map. Let's make a custom bubble chart here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my sector ETF list. I'm going to look over the last 7 days and the last 30 days, calendar change percent, to see where the money's going. So over the last 30 days, XLE is the winner. And then we got XLU in there as well. So money's still going into energy. Energy's up nearly 14% over the last 30 days, you guys. It's hanging in there pretty nice. And utilities over the last 7 days has been popping off as well. And TLT is sneaking in. Let's take a look at bonds on the daily chart here. Yeah, look at TLT, you guys. Bonds has finally started to break out from this downtrending line that you can see right here. So keep an eye on that. I mean, it's massively oversold. Go to the monthly here. It's TLT is, the lowest it's been since early 2000s, which is kind of crazy to think, but not really, because, it's how that works with the interest rates. But yeah, an interesting spot there. But let's take a look at some of these earnings tickers as well while we're in here. Let's look at Dash. DoorDash has been trending pretty nicely on the monthly until as of late. You can see it is actually broken under a channel, DoorDash. I know their last earnings I was live for it. It was, yeah, a pretty nasty earnings gap to the downside right here. As you can see, the last earnings for DoorDash, we had a 17% drop, and it was just on the, a lot of people were not just DoorDashing. Like, the economy is just not very hot right now is kind of the narrative behind this. And I think the same thing happened with Chipotle. Yeah, Chipotle, last 2 earnings for Chipotle, massive gaps down. People are just not eating out like they used to, I guess, was kind of the theme there. So hopefully we see some good numbers in Dash today. As you can see, it is up pretty good intraday. It looks like we have some news in our news widget here. It says, why are DoorDash shares surging Wednesday? It says, just because their traders are positioning themselves ahead of the company's earnings report. So that's not very helpful. But no, there was a pretty clear support line right around there at like 159 or so. So it kind of makes sense that the stock would bounce there. But if you guys are seeing stuff out there any different than what I am seeing, let me know down in the chats below. Also, be sure to like this video if you guys are here. If you guys like this live market commentary. Let me see. What else do we got going on today? We got Carvana coming in today. Carvana recently included in the S&P 500 right there, and that actually marked the peak, funny enough. But pretty wild chart. I appreciate you, Psychonania. Thank you for. Is this your first TrendSpider live stream? Have you tuned in before, or is this your first time? Yeah, Carvana. I mean, if you guys seen this, wow, that thing basically went to friggin' zero. Look at that. Mine is 99% on Carvana. Well, welcome. Make sure you subscribe because we're live all the time. How did you find us, by the way? What brought you here today? But man, look at this Carvana dump. And also, are you a trader, investor? What is your strategy for investing in the markets? Minus 99%, and then back up 1,200%. Absolutely insane moves for Carvana. Somebody asked my thoughts on the overall market. It's a good question. You can open up SPY here, and you think overall market. First thing that I think of is really just the S&P 500, the SPY, and then as you can see right here, I mean, wow. It just hasn't gone anywhere since, I don't know, late 2025. So I think it's very range bound right now, the overall market. It's range bound in the S&P and the major indexes. As you can see, it's just been chopping back and forth for who knows how long in this point. But if you look inside of the markets, you can see that many of the big names like Microsoft has sold off. I mean, Microsoft is down how much since the top? Microsoft is, down like 30%. That's a bear market for Microsoft. Apple's hanging in there. I know Google has been hanging in there pretty well. Recently starting to come down a little bit though. So I think right now is definitely a stock pickers market. Investors just holding on to the SPY have not seen any real movement for a while. So you have to really be digging deep into where the money is flowing. And that's exactly what I actually use the stock market map for. Person turquoise writing. I think that's supposed to be an emoji or something. But yeah, if you look at where the money is flowing, throughout the market is where you're going to be able to find, some actual trades these days. Energy has been notable. It's up the most over the last 30 days out of all of these sectors, followed by industrials has been really good, and materials. But I'm going to focus on XLE and XLI right now. So if we look at XLE, I mean, everyone has been talking about this lately. It had an all-time high breakout out of this base above 50. And it looks like this week is continuing the uptrend. So definitely be on the lookout for stuff in the energy sector. And I'll show you guys how to find top stocks in the energy sector in a second. But let's look at also XLI. Down a little bit today, but again, nice breakout. As you can see, it's actually moving unlike the overall market, like the S&P 500. And so this is an ETF, right? It's a sector ETF. So what you can do from here is open your TrendSpider market scanner, and then we're going to search for stocks with high relative performance in these sectors. So I'm just going to type into the market scanner, find stocks with a relative performance over 90. And in just a second here, our AI is going to build a scanner for us. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into the XL, or I'm just going to type energy. We have an energy list here on TrendSpider. So I'm going to click that as 192 symbols. I'm actually going to put it 95 just so we have a shorter list. And then all of these names are the strongest names that are powering the energy sector right now. WWD has been one that is on my list. You can see there's a power earnings gap here from their last earnings, and it has been kind of consolidating right there. Let's see what else we got in here. Rig has been one that I've been looking at a little bit. Pump is in here. Pump has been consolidating for quite a while, and we can also put on the relative performance indicator. As you can see, when you're looking to follow the trends, follow where the money is flowing, you're going to want to be looking for stocks with a high relative performance, which means that it's outperforming the overall market. You're going to want to focus on the strongest names, and so that's what we use the relative performance indicator for. Options. I used to trade options a decent bit. These days, the only options trading I'll usually do is really like selling covered calls on my holdings. I'm mostly equity now, though. You also got POWL. Look at the relative performance on this. Straight line across here at 99. Recent breakout above this pivot level. So it's looking pretty good. So there are names, as you can see, these names are actually showing strength while the S&P 500 is just kind of sitting there doing nothing. So that's, I guess, my overall opinion on the markets and how to navigate what is going on today. And you can also do the same thing in the industrial sector. Let's just go ahead and look in. We'll do the S&P industrials first and see what we got. So yeah, GEV. GEV is a goated stock. This one has been trending really ever since the thing started trading. Absolutely killing it, as you can see here. Couple of bull flags. Yeah, GEV is great. Relative performance has really never been under 90 yet. So, and as you can see, it continues to make new highs. It's doing pretty well over the last few days. What's up, Brian? Welcome to the stream. Glad you're in GEV because it's a great name. Let's see else what we got here. And Cat has been absolutely killing it. This is Caterpillar. Yeah, beautiful trend right there. And if you want to use an indicator that kind of helps you decide when to get in and out of these names, you can use something like Tushar Shande's paraband indicator. Whenever it's shaded in light green would be a long opportunity. And as you can see, Cat has been long for a pretty long time here, as you can see. And then you can just use this as your trailing stop. Something that's still kind of on my radar too is gold. Gold has had a beautiful trend, as we all know. I'm sure if you didn't know, gold has been absolutely crushing it ever since 2024 or so. And yeah, on the weekly chart, it's just absolutely insane. It doesn't even look like there was that big of a pullback. But if you guys remember, I was live for the silver and gold crash here on this day right here. Gold wasn't as bad. It was down about 10% or like 13% at the most. But it's pulling back and it's forming another base right here. It's consolidating on declining volume. Could be setting up for another move up. You never know. So yeah, I would say keep an eye out on the metals still, because everyone has kind of forgot about them and they maybe could have another leg up. Who knows? Yeah. Let's see. Zim, someone said, is going through potential acquisition. ZIM. Let's take a look. That is interesting. Don't know much about this one here. ZIM. Yeah, pretty nice gap up. I'm assuming they have a buyout price of somewhere around 28 or 29, probably 29, trading right under it if there was buyout news, like you said. Looks like it jumped up yesterday. Yeah, 4.2 billion in massive shipping deal. Lekha Gupta, or no, Hapag Lloyd. I don't know who these people are, but they're potentially supposed to be buying Zim for $4.2 billion. So yeah, I'm assuming that's probably a share price of around 29 or 30 or something, and the stock is probably going to trade there until the buyout happens. Right under the buyout price is usually how it goes. So interesting look there. LUV has been on this list for a while too. High relative performance. Actually just started having high relative performance over the last month or so. HPGLY. I'm not sure if we'll even have that. Yeah, we do actually. A delayed data. Some ADR. Interesting. Well, congrats if you're holding ZIM. ZIM. It's not often if you're holding a stock and they get a buyout at a higher price than what you're holding at. It's just some free money right there. Let's see what else we got here. In FedEx, shipping companies. Speaking of shipping, FTX is absolutely mooning. Wow, look at that relative performance. Finally broke above like 90 just over the last few days here. Let's put on our chats indicator and see how chats is looking. Chats is chats, I kind of like, sometimes I like it more than relative performance because it's tracking the absolute strength, the strength of the stock versus itself versus a benchmark. And you can see it's the chats flew all the way up here. It's like 96 way before the relative performance did. So shout out to Tushar Shande for creating the chats indicator for us. It is, I believe, exclusive to the TrendSpider platform. So be sure to check it out. Was just live with Tushar yesterday. So definitely be sure to check out that live if you guys missed it. By the way, this is one, if you guys are looking for a Shonda indicator that is free, he does have this breakout buddy Donchian channels indicator. That's pretty cool. can see it's pretty close to his other indicators, except for it doesn't have his stop losses built in, but it's a free indicator, so you can definitely use it to figure out if a stock is uptrending or not. And as you can see, it correlates pretty well to chat, so it would have got you in FDX or FedEx right here, right as the entry point started above this band, this green band. And you could have ridden it up all the way up here, depending on where your stop is. This is technically not, this indicator doesn't include exits, but it can get you in, and you can use your own set of trailing stops. And if you want a trailing stop, you can use something like an EMA. So we'll just add an EMA here. I don't know, maybe depending on how fast you want it, you can use like a 21 EMA. So yeah, it would have potentially got you out there unless you held on. Or an even tighter one like the 9 EMA is something that very short-term traders use. You can use that as your trailing stop loss as well. SMA 200 is going to be way lower on this, but yeah, that is another industrial to keep an eye on. HII. Don't really know much about this one. Huntington Ingalls Industries. Looks like on earnings, it took a little spill, but it's back up since then. Super high relative performance, but the chats actually, this is interesting. Now, we're getting another divergence here in chats and relative performance. The chats is not as high, but the relative performance stayed up there pretty good. But yeah, if you guys are out there seeing anything else on the markets, let me know down in the chats below. We got a pretty long time here until we got earnings. So if you guys have any questions on anything, or if you're seeing any market news that we should cover, let us know. In the meantime, we can ask Sidekick what is going on in the markets today, potentially. Let's see. I'll ask it, summarize the top stock market news for today and the past week. What is driving the markets? So this is our TrendSpider Sidekick AI. Is there anything expected after FOMC minutes? Not really. I mean, oh, well, there is the earnings. We're going to be live for the earnings, which will happen in about an hour or so. But let's see what is going on in the markets. But yeah, minutes didn't really have too big of an effect on the market. Let's see. So Sidekick is highlighting the tech sector recovery. This down says tech stocks rebounded sharply today. The NASDAQ jumping 1.4%, which is true. Go over to like the QQQ over here. Pretty nice bounce. Again, we've been range bound. It's just bounced right off the lower end of the range. Nothing too wild, but it was a nice bounce. The trend or lack of trend, it's not forming a downtrend yet, which is nice to see. See how IWM is holding up. IWM is still holding up pretty nicely too. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, there is some geopolitical tensions with Iran right now, which I believe, yeah, is shaking up some of the oil names, energy names that we're just kind of looking at recently. We can pull up oil futures, CL1. As you can see, oil is up pretty big today. You can do that. It's up about 5%, the oil market today, or oil prices. So that is interesting news. And then we also got defense and space stocks surging 9%. With strike odds jumping to 67% on prediction markets. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, oil's been doing very, very good. Energy stocks in general have been doing great. And yeah, Brian said it's very cool to look at the back test of some of these indicators, knowing what the market was doing in those time frames. Always fun to go ahead and back test what has happened before. Let me see. What else we got here? White House indicates some progress, but Expects more details in following weeks. Let's take a look at some defense names. What's Lockheed Martin doing? Lockheed Martin's actually down on the day. Let's look at Raytheon RTX. Let me see if we have. We have an aerospace and defense. Yeah, we have a couple of ETFs, ITA and XAR. Let's take a look at the spiders. See what we got here in the defense names that have high relative performance. WWD, solid name. Lunar Intuitive Machines popping up. Let's sort these by greatest move today. Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab has shot up today. Decent breakout there on Rocket Lab. Or break up from the downtrend, I should say. Very high relative performance as well. Yeah, OIH. Isn't that like an oil ETF? Yep. That's a good one. Good one. Let's see. KTOS. This one has been definitely on my radar for a bit. Kratos Defense and Security. It looks like it's trying to break back out. Did have a breakout here, but then it retraced all the way back down. But the relative performance is hanging in there at 98, outperforming 98% of the S&P 500 still. ATI, this one has been on my radar lately as well. Power earnings gap there that actually got filled and then had another nice breakout above this. So ATI has been really good. ATI looks really nice, actually. This one has been on my pretty close watch list for a while now. And it looks like they had a pretty good earnings candle right there. Another power earnings gap to the upside. Not a crazy big gap, but looks pretty good. So definitely keep an eye out for ATI. Kind of missed a lot of the move, but it could potentially buy it on a dip if it does have a dip at some point. VSEC, VSEC, interesting. ATRO. ATRO is coiling up really nice with very strong relative performance. That is so funny that you asked about the Nicholas Darvas box theory, because I've actually recently created an indicator on that. She have a Darvas box indicator. I don't even think actually it's on the store yet. But yeah, I can go over the Darvas box real quick. So what the Darvas box essentially is it's looking for 52-week highs. Let me go ahead and pull up the Darvas box scan. Is it this one? Yeah. So it's pretty good to use on the weekly chart. But essentially what you're looking for is a new 52-week high. So what I did with the indicator that I made is I plotted a 52-week high line, which is right here. I'm on the weekly chart. This is the 52-period high. And then let's find a better example. Let's look at like SNDK, because this one is really cool. SNDK is a beautiful setup in general. But basically the stock has to make a 52-week high. And then for 3 bars, it can't break the 52-week high. And that's the bottom of the box. So 52-week high, 3 bars decline. And then the 52-week high becomes the top of the box. And then the low of the box is just the low of the range. And then all you do theoretically in this box breakout theory is you wait for a breakout above the box, which happened, of course, on this candle. You would have entered as the stock broke out. And then, yeah, you can set your stop, below this candle. You can set it below the box, below the top of the box, however you want. And yeah, that's in a nutshell how the Darvas box theory works. Basically looking for 52-week highs, a consolidation, and then a breakout back above the high. And yeah, eventually, once this indicator is fully made, it will post it on the store for you guys to go ahead and use. How did you hear about the Darvas box theory? I'm just curious because I was literally working on that. You had me questioning if we actually released that or not. Yeah, and we also have a scanner, as you can see, that I made right here that scans for stocks breaking above the Darvas box. Not sure why it's not working on the NASDAQ composite, but you can search through it, on the NYSE composite. And there's only a few names. It's a pretty strict strategy. TrendSpider has achieved hive mind status. Apparently, you guys are just in my head. Let's see, ZGN. Those are okay. And you can combine this with other conditions too, but let's what else can we search? And let's just look in the S&P 500. See if there's any more names here. So what I'm going to do instead, just to pull up some more examples for you guys, I'm going to do all this happened within, I don't know, 5 candle. Oh, shit. 5 candle. That's fine. That's kind of a lot. But, yeah, screw it. A lot of box breakouts. Wow. I don't even think this is all of them either. HCA, this one has been on my radar. Recently, Darvas box breakout here on HCA Healthcare. So as you can see, 52-week high, 1, 2, 3 candles, does not break the high, forms the bottom of the box, and the breakout happens at the new 52-week high, and that is theoretically the entry. And then you're technically supposed to wait for it, to form another box at some point, and then that box becomes the new potential entry. You can enter again or use your new stop losses. Let's see. Okay. What else do we got here? DAL. Interesting one here. It says Delta Airlines. That's an okay setup. Rig is on here. See, Rig had a 52-week high like here. Actually, right here on this red candle made a high. 1, 2, 3 candles, doesn't break the low, forms the bottom of the box, top of the box at the high. Breakout right there is your entry, and then you can set a stop like probably below this candle, below the box. That's how the Darvas box works. MRK, this has been a pretty good one. This is actually a really nice scanner to find trending stocks. So I had a couple of boxes. So here, box 1, breakout, you're in. Box 2, breakout, you can add to your position. Pyramid in, if you will. What else do we got? VRT, I've seen a ton. Look at this. We manually drew this box before, but screw that. We have the Darvas box indicator to just draw the box for us. It broke out last week of its box range right there. So VRT, Vertiv Holdings, on its earnings. I believe it had a power earnings gap on the daily. Even had a box on the daily. Power earnings gap, very nice. MCK, another beautiful name. This is a perfect example of multiple boxes forming out one after the other. So we got a box formation here, breakout of it, uptrend, starts consolidate again, another box, and another breakout. Pump, another energy name. Broke out last week, but now it's kind of testing below. So if your stop is like below this candle, that's fine. Or wow, that's a pretty low box. I would actually probably set the stop like under 9 down there somewhere. I was actually trading that. CVX, Chevron, another oil name. Again, another box that we drew manually. That's actually more of like a monthly probably kind of box. And you can see there's actually a box on the monthly here. Bottom of it is right there. But yeah, CVX has broken out recently. It is an energy name, like we were saying. Oil is doing very well right now because of geopolitical tensions. GEV. See how it looks on GEV. Looks okay on GEV. During this bull flag, you got stopped out or went below the box technically, but then it formed another one and you got in. I don't know. I guess right here. It's actually the first time you would have gotten on GEV. It's surprisingly, yeah, because the 52-week high wasn't even a thing on GEV till like right here. Let's see. Some good names in here. Some very good names. HWM. I'm actually in this one. Howmet Aerospace. Very nice trend right there. So that's, yeah, Darvis Box. Will be a video probably on that sooner than later. Let's take a look at some stuff that's reporting today. We got Figma here. Figma. Let's take a look at the reports for Figma. See how they've been doing fundamentally. Looks like they have about 250 to and then 274 million in revenue. I'll go ahead and analyze that with Sidekick. A lot of these earnings that are coming up after the bell in a second. Let's see what else we have for major news. Here's Sidekick's summarization of the meeting. As you can see here, almost all participants, let me zoom in, favored holding rates steady at the January meeting, the FOMC meeting. That was a couple of weeks ago. Several participants indicated further cuts could be appropriate if inflation declines are as expected. Yeah, as expected. So that's interesting. They're talking about, further rate cuts eventually if inflation starts declining. When was the last inflation report? We actually have PCE on Friday along with GDP. So pay attention to PCE. See if that cools or not. It'll show you what rates are expected to do based on what the Fed has said, at least. And if you guys are just tuning in, welcome. Make sure you guys like the video if you guys are enjoying it so far, or the live, I should say. Moderna apparently soared. Let's take a look at Moderna. So Moderna had a nice gap up today. They did recently have earnings. Wow, that is a disgusting chart. 132 million. Wow, they have a really, really inconsistent revenue, Moderna here. But yeah, I guess they had some news where the FDA made a U-turn on a flu vaccine review, sending Moderna up. MCW is going private. So as you can see, oh yeah, it was actually announced, I guess, on their earnings pre-market today. Mr. Car Wash, that is. Pretty steady revenue. 250 million for a car wash per quarter. That's pretty good. And it's going private in a $3.1 billion deal. Bro, I'm right there with you, Brian. I need some TrendSpider swag also. NVIDIA fully exited position in RXRX. This one's probably cratering. It did open pretty low, even though they had a position in bio company like this. But that is the news for the day. So that's cool. What was I going to go over? Oh, yeah, I was going to take a look at Figma earnings. So I'm going to open a new chat here on TrendSpider and take a look at Figma, what's expected with Figma today on the limited data that we have available. So I'm just saying, analyze the upcoming Fig earnings today. Again, it's a very new stock. I'm not even sure how much data Sidekick is going to have on Figma in the first place, but it does report again today. So we'll see what happens. Ever since IPO, this thing is going straight to zero. Down about 82% from the peak. Yeah, so fortunately, we're not seeing any. We don't know what the EPS or revenue estimates are. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. Yeah, again, stock collapsed 80% from its peak. Oh, they have a 180-day IPO lockup expiring on February 5th. Okay. I guess Piper Sandler slashed their price target on February 3rd from 70 to 35. Wow. Apparently, JP Morgan called for software sector rebound on February 10th. JP Morgan is notoriously wrong on everything. So let's see how software has done since February 10th. Let's just go, I don't know, Microsoft. Yep, it was indeed the peak on Microsoft recently. That's always hilarious. But we did get a Wells Fargo upgrading Figma to buy, but most held at hold with reduced targets for Figma. So, looking pretty bad. Saying hold or avoid before earnings, high risk situation. Stock is technically broken. Absolutely true. Says if you don't own it, stay out. If you own it, holding through earnings is pure speculation. But yeah, I think this will be a good trade one day. Figma, that is. That's what we're looking at. Let's see. PAVE Industrial ETF took a while to get traction. Just flattened after a run up. PAVE. Yeah, Industrial ETF should be interesting. Yeah, PAVE looking really good. Looks just pretty similar to XLI. Yeah. Let's take a look at if we have holdings for this PAVE ETF. So if you guys want to see, I guess, the holdings for an ETF, let's go back to AI mode here. I just use the scanner for everything. You can just add a watch list. I'm just going to see. So PAVE has 97 holdings. I don't really care about half the shit in here. I just care about the stuff that actually has high relative performance. So that's what I do. And it has a lot of the same stuff, a lot of the same holdings as XLI. It's from the looks of it. We got WWD and PAL. Those are the two on my radar personally. DY, I think I actually have some DY as well. This is a good name. Wow, 3 Darvis box breakouts. Pretty cool there. CENX, I think I've seen this one. Prim, I think I'm also in Prim. Unless I got stopped out, I can't remember. Take a look. I am in Prim. What else we got here? I'm also in DY. So I'm in a lot of these industrial names. It has been pretty nice. Dino got shit on today, unfortunately, on earnings. If you're in Dino, AMAT has been doing good. STX, how could I forget about memory? Memory names are back up. Shout out to all of you memory bears out there that are trying to time the top. Got another Darvis box forming on Micron here. Memory, I don't know. Let me know down in the chat what you guys think of memory names, specifically Micron, Seagate, STX, WDC, and SanDisk, SNDK. How could I forget? WDC. Ooh, WDC had a breakout today. Interesting. Are we starting a new lake higher, you guys? What's SanDisk up to? Wow, WDC is looking strong, though. This is actually a sick indicator, you guys. I'm excited to release this for you guys, this Darvis box indicator. But as you can see, 309, yeah, WDC hit a new all-time high this week. Rip to the memory bears for now. Should have bought WDC instead of STX though, it looks like, because STX is not hitting highs. QQQ formed a head and shoulders, did it now? What time frame are you seeing this head and shoulders? Let's take a gander here. I don't see anything here except for consolidation. I mean, there's probably like a 4 hour. Yeah, not really seeing a head and shoulders. I mean, there's maybe a head here, a left shoulder, and a right shoulder, but that right shoulder is way lower than the left. I don't know. Devil horns. I've never even heard of that. But I agree. I mean, I wouldn't say this looks like bearish, but definitely doesn't look bullish. It just doesn't look like anything. It looks like boring. QQQ and SPY. Yeah, I honestly have no idea what a devil horns is. Let me look this up. Devil horns pattern. Bruh, is this even are you serious? Are you trolling me right now? Devil horns? When I look up devil horns on Google, this is what I see. Devil horns pattern. Oh. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're probably not trolling, but that is just funny. Yeah, that's QQQ. Let's see. MTZ. What are you looking in? We're looking in industrials still. Yeah, guys, if you haven't been in industrials, then you've been sleeping on TrendSpider, because it's really been easy to spot these rotations on TrendSpider. I mean, look at, there's, we got a lot of names. Like if you're just holding like Microsoft and like all the regular stuff, then yeah, you're not having a great time right now. But if you're sitting there following the rotations, how's Palantir doing today? Palantir had this is a head and shoulders right here on Palantir. Shoulder, shoulder, head. I think Michael Burry actually tweeted about this head and shoulders. Yeah, you guys, if you guys are in all the FinTwit names, like, yeah, hasn't been a good time. But if you're sitting there and you look at your stock market maps, figure out where the money's been flowing as energy, industrials, not SPY. I think I need to update this. Got a watch list here. Look at my sector ETFs. Do I not have Qs in here? Let me add a couple of stocks to this. QQQ, IWM. It's bond. Yeah, bonds is in there. Let me update this. And I think one person has this. Nice. Let's see. Color flag these so I can see them. Should actually color flag these to a way that makes sense. Somebody said, or the CEO for Palantir said he didn't see the head and shoulders. It's because he wasn't looking. Just kidding. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious, but yeah, utilities have been pretty good lately too, you guys. A lot of defensive names, but it's really back down again. No one wants to look at utilities though, or staples. Consumer staples has been doing good. Where's healthcare at? Healthcare has been really tightening up, you guys. Forming sort of like a cup and handle. I mean, that is consolidation right here. Doesn't get tighter than that. So we do get a breakout here on healthcare. Do have a little bit of healthcare allocations, nothing crazy, but it's worth keeping an eye on absolutely there in healthcare. But and semiconductors is still, still, I don't know what these lines are. I have no idea what these are. But semiconductors, I mean, still just killing it, you guys. But unfortunately, we do have NVIDIA earnings next week. Let's take a look at NVIDIA, how this is holding up. Not going anywhere as always. AMD. Ooh, AMD's pretty low. Intel. TUR is one of these names I've been watching lately too. TER, very high relative performance. Someone mentioned Oracle. Brian, let's take a look. Yeah, Oracle is looked pretty terrible. I mean, there's just no trade there for me. I mean, you could just buy the dip and pray. That's the trade. But we should have a guest on today. Actually, what? Let's see. Yeah, it's Strat Soldier. Yeah, we're gonna have Strat Soldier on at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, which is what time in real time? 12:30 Pacific time. That should be good. Let's take a look at what's happening now. Maybe we can find some cool stuff in here. Always some stuff going on in the markets. I mean, Warren Buffett buys? I don't think so. They always trend all over the internet when there is. But let's take a look. Actually, there has been some Warren Buffett buys. Ooh, Warren Buffett buying energy, buying CVX. Kind of love to see that. He just bought Warren Buffett threw $1 billion in the CVX yesterday, you guys. Hell yeah. Energy to the moon. CB, Chubb, buying breakouts. No idea what the hell this is. Liberty Live Holdings. Interesting. He bought this all yesterday. Oh yeah, I actually did hear news about this. He bought the New York Times. Who would have thought New York Times is rising? The era of AI. Domino's, classic. He absolutely loves his Domino's. Had some Domino's over the weekend. I don't know how they make money because their pizza is so damn cheap. But it's a solid pizza for the price. LAMR, Lamar Advertising. CVX is sick, though. I'm glad to see the GOAT buying some energy. Relative performance, Let's take a look at the chats indicator. Yeah, chats is looking good. Warren Buffett be looking at chats. Pretty interesting. Declining EPS here on CVX. Let's have AI analyze this. Oh, shit. Hold on. Didn't want it to do it. I wanted to do it in a new chat. So right now, I looked at the Berkshire Hathaway purchases, Warren Buffett buys, you could say. And AI is going to analyze it all for us. How's this UNH buy doing? Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Yeah, $1.23 billion purchase yesterday. Oh my God. He owns 130 million shares of CVX. Last time he bought was $500 million in August of 2025. Says it's a clearly high conviction energy play by Buffett. And then, Chubb, insurance sector. Warren Buffett does love his scam insurance companies, legalized scams. When am I going to come out with your book? I don't think I'm going to write a book. Should I write a book? He bought what? Oh, November 2025, he bought Google. I remember that. UNH. Entirely new position in this Liberty Media. New York Times, new position. Yeah, a lot of interest in media and entertainment stocks. Very interesting. But if you look at CVX, or I mean, sorry, NYT, you can see it's been trending. Oh, they did have a pretty nasty earnings. Not numbers wise, but just a drop wise. Earnings themselves looks really good. What is this quarter? They tend to do really good in quarter 4, revenue and EPS wise. Is there something cyclical about New York Times? Let's ask Sidekick. Why does New York Times tend to have revenue and EPS spikes in Q4? I love Sidekick. If you guys didn't know, Sidekick is TrendSpider's AI, and it is the GOAT. You can just ask it anything about the markets, and it's just so good. Digital ad surge is the main driver. Look at it. It's literally pulling from the earnings call. Management highlighted that Q4 is a very big ad quarter. There you go. Gift subscriptions spike during holidays, year-end promotions. Yeah, I mean, that's just classic. I mean, a lot of companies' Q4s are high. I just wasn't sure why specifically for New York Times it would be like that. But it says it's primarily advertising driven due to seasonal marketer demand. Yeah, I mean, everyone's running their Black Friday sales, their holiday sales, all that good stuff at the end of the year. You can use many models. Oh, by the way, yeah, we have a bunch of Claude models. You can there's a new Claude model out, 4.6, Claude 4.6. I think that's 4.6 Sonnet. Actually, I should be using that. I want to test it out. But you can also use Gemini, Gemini 3 Pro, 2.5 Pro, GPT 5 and 4.1. I highly recommend Claude. Actually, really want to test out 4.6 and Sidekick now that you mention it, because that just came out like within the last few days. Let's see what else we got here. Institutions exiting. See what institutions are exiting. WBD, Warner Bros. Interesting. TEO. This is all Hershey Financial Advisors. Screw them. I don't care. Let's see. Anything else? CEO buying their own stock. I actually went over this workflow not that long ago. MSCI. Interesting. I thought that was MKSI for a second. What else have we got in here? ENPH. Yeah, we've seen all these before. Dividend yield over 10% is insane. Pelosi's retired, but what was her last trades? TEM. TEM. Anything else? News, upcoming splits. Any upcoming splits that matter? Yeah, not much. Government trade, CNBC recommendations. Let's look at some Kramer recommendations. All right, so he's not recommending PATH and TOST, so maybe go ahead and buy these. They look like they're probably bottoming. This is not from OKTA. He's bullish on. Damn it, I think I have some OKTA. I have to sell that. ServiceNow, he's bullish on. Yeah, ServiceNow is going to 0. CRM, he's bullish on, going to 0. Oracle, he says selling a pop. Fair enough. U is not recommending. Interesting. Unity. HubSpot buying a pullback. Oh, these are pullback for sure. He said that this is all February 6th. Which actually wasn't that long. That was like a week or two ago. Buying a pullback. Bruh, this thing is pulled back like 100%. Sounds 75%. He said buying a pullback. Wise words from Kramer. Let's see. Recent splits. NDLS. Noodles and Company? Wow. I had no idea this stock was even traded. Decent food. Yeah, I can check for unusual options. I just use Sidekick for that. I don't know. Which earnings you want me to take a look at? DoorDash? Let's get back up my list of. Yeah, we got Oxy, DoorDash, Carvana, Coke, Fig. Coke has been doing pretty good. Booking Holdings, eBay. I believe people still use eBay. But look at this. eBay's sitting right here at a key pivot level. What's the high here? 8106. We're currently right at a very, very crucial pivot level there on eBay. And you can see there's some markings of stages. You can put on our Weinstein stage analysis indicator. Yeah, stage 4 decline there. Stage 1 is like here. You got stage 2 uptrend for the most part. Almost fell into stage 3. And then looks like we might be in stage 3 right now for eBay. See what NVIDIA is saying. NVIDIA has to be stage 3. Well, I mean, yeah, you never know. It could be another leg up. Could be another leg up. Probably will be the way semiconductors have been trending. The SMH ETF still looks like it's in stage 2. Let's take a look at, I don't know, Micron on this indicator. Yeah, it's going to be stage 2. Absolutely. So far extended above this 30-week SMA on memory names. It's insane. Yeah, that's a lot of the what's happening now stuff. I mean, I can't believe you guys trade without TrendSpider if you guys do. I don't even know what I would be doing if I didn't have TrendSpider, to be honest. Like all these indicators, the scanners, what's happening now. If you guys aren't on TrendSpider yet, at the very minimum, sign up to get our free market updates every single week. It is literally for free. I don't know why you wouldn't do this. If you guys are like, what are you guys using if not TrendSpider to analyze the markets? All right, let's see. Let's do some more Sidekick analysis using 4.6. So we did Figma. Ruined it with that second prompt. Oh, someone in your note. Let's take a look at, yeah, we'll do Dash now. See what Sidekick 4.6 or Sidekick has to say about DoorDash earnings coming out after the close today. Here we go. Yeah, TrendSpider and Toss is goated. That's literally exactly what I use. Thinkorswim is great for executing. You can connect it with Signal Stack super easily. Has your nice little active trader and whatnot. I think TrendSpider and Thinkorswim is peak. Great way to trade. Anyways, DoorDash. EPS estimate at 58 cents and 4 billion revenue. Obviously, we saw that the DoorDash shares are moving higher today. Competitor Uber is aggressively expanding delivery into 7 European markets, targeting 1 billion in new gross bookings. Direct competitive pressure points. Yeah, Uber I actually really like because Uber has the deliveries like DoorDash does, and they also, of course, have the ride sharing. So, and it's all in one subscription. I actually have an Uber One subscription just because I kind of finessed them. I think I paid like $1 a year, and I always just cancel, and it gives me a discount. And so I stay for like a couple bucks. See how Uber's doing. Doing way better than DoorDash. Look at that revenue growth. Do you think full self-driving robo-taxis and shit ever becomes a thing? Uber will be really good. They have all the marketing distribution for it. Everyone's going to say, oh, it's going to be Tesla. Yeah, maybe. But they are going to definitely, I think, be using Uber too. But never know. Sidekick is giving a hold into earnings. And yeah, some people have been saying like Sidekick wasn't giving answers because it's saying it's not giving advice. Looks like you might have updated it. It says this is research, not trading advice. Earnings carry elevated binary risk. But here's recent news. Oh, we already did the recent news. General market sentiment. Are we in fear? Call it this fear and greed index. Haven't looked at this thing in forever, to be honest. If anyone was wondering, we are in fear somehow. We are in fear somehow. Let's see what's powering this. Puts and calls. Yeah, I don't know. But somehow we're in fear. With the SPY down like 2% off all-time highs. That's cool. But yeah, it's cool. Little breakdown of DoorDash. What else have we now? We did Fig and DoorDash. Let's look at Carvana. I can't believe how much Carvana has gone up since the bottom. You guys make sure to stick around. We're going to have earnings in about an hour. Looks like we got expected EPS of $1.13 per share and revenue at $5.2 billion for Carvana. A key trading signal, it says. Short seller allegations supposedly emerged in early February. Company disputed them and shares fell. Guess they're expanding same-day delivery in Oregon. Whoa, 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 whoa. Market expert warning. Expect high volatility after earnings. Thanks, market expert. Let's see. All 6 major analysts reaffirmed buy in January of 2026, raising price targets to from 510 to 545. So apparently, there's a lot of short interest in this name, which doesn't surprise me considering it's up like 2 bazillion% off the bottom, and it just recently got included in the S&P 500. I won't give direct trading advice, but here's the objective read. Yeah, Sidekick has been weird. I wonder if this is 4.6 causing this weird no financial advice stuff. But it says the risk to reward is asymmetric and unclear. Market is bracing for a big move either way, of course. Analyst consensus is firmly bullish, but targets were set pre-short report. So the whole thing with Carvana is the shorts. These damn shorts. So what I'm going to do, say plot all of the recent news for onto my charts that I have open. One of my favorite Sidekick use cases is having it plot news events right on my chart. Give it a couple of seconds here. Whoa, that's a lot of shit. Large cap laggard. Cool. Here's the short report right here. This giant candle. Right before that, Wells Fargo raises a price target. Had same day delivery expansion there. Short seller concerns yet again here. That's useless. Trading signal. I don't know what the fuck that is. Short seller concerns. Earnings due today. We know that. A whole bunch of price target raises. Top earnings pick. Look at all this price target. Look how the stock reacts to all this price target nonsense. Analysts are great. They do a great job, kind of, but I wouldn't really listen to them, you guys. I mean, all of them raised their price target. That's so sketch, honestly. We have all these price target raises here on Carvana right before all these short reports come out, and the stock absolutely shits itself. What does that tell you about analysts? You think they knew? How big was this drop anyway? 21%. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 analysts, like 5s, 2 BOFA ones, all calling for higher price targets just weeks, days before a short report. Gotham City Research short report. Allegations of accounting issues and inflated earnings sent the stock sharply lower. In the same day, JP Morgan raised its PT to 510. And then February 3rd, same day delivery expansion in June was overshadowed by new short seller allegations. So let's see what's the merit behind this stuff. What is the merit behind are these actual shorts piling in? What does it mean for traders? So now I'm just asking, what's the merit behind all these short reports? And what does it mean for traders? You guys are out there in the chat. still sticking around. Let me know what you guys are watching, if anything. Let's see if there's anything trending. All right, so here's the lowdown. Oh, sorry, that was disgusting. One sec. Oh, fuck. God damn, how fucking shitty are allergies, guys. Anyways, this isn't allergies though. I'm straight up sick. Where were we at? Gotham City Shorts report. Inflated earnings via undisclosed related party transactions. Carvana's own SEC filings acknowledges a genuine structural risk directly from their 10K. We maintain a business relationship with drive time, arrangements that cannot be assumed to have been negotiated at arm's length. Carvana itself lists as a critical accounting judgment and a key earnings driver. This isn't a frivolous attack. Whether the numbers are actually inflated is unknown, but the structural vulnerabilities being targeted are real and acknowledged. Apparently, the put flow over the last 2 days is overwhelmingly bearish, particularly ahead of today's earnings, which is interesting. So, what does this mean for traders? Somebody asked, is Carvana about to run 20%? I don't know, but it's about to go. It's actually really interesting. Yeah, that's what it's looking like, Michael. It's looking like their numbers are cooked, being cooked, cooking the books. So it's saying the 320 strike is a focal point, which is just slightly below the recent low. So I'm going to say make a bar chart of the most significant option strikes for CVNA and plot the key levels as horizontal lines on my open CVNA chart. So So I'm having sight. Wow, that was quick. So I had Sidekick go through and check the unusual options flow and plot the key levels on my chart. SJD News, what is going on? Welcome in. Glad to have you in here. We're looking right now at Carvana, potentially cooking their books ahead of the earnings here. So this 320 strike, it's saying has $7.2 million in premium and is a massive put wall, and it says by far the largest concentration. So watch 320 is basically what's going on here. I'm going to delete most of these lines. What was like the second? So yeah, 320, 315. Let's keep those. Or 415, yeah. 400, sure, it's psychological. Remove, and yeah, 300 psychological. So these are the lines that you want to probably pay attention to. Do I have my Mentor Q indicators on? Let's see what the Mentor Q gamma levels are sitting at here. It's kind of fun. I forget which one's the right one. I'll have to find my my what's it called? To find my key for these Mentor Q gamma levels. Once it opens up here, I have it in Discord somewhere in a private chat. TrendSpider. Here we go. Rid of that. Oh god, I have to go. Hold on one sec. Let me hide a bunch of these levels here. I just want to see where there's some put walls and call walls here on Carvana going into earnings. So we see a one-day minimum pretty much lining up with this 320. We see call resistance at 380. But again, the 315 strike is where a lot of the stuff should be. So 320 is probably the most significant level if I had to pick one here. Yeah, Michael, good point. Tariffs probably are. But that's definitely some cool stuff. Looking in on Carvana there. What else do we got? We looked at Figma, we looked at Carvana, we looked at Dash, maybe Oxy we can take a look at now. Heading into earnings. Oxy's interesting. Oil has been popping off, and Oxy has not been popping off whatsoever. So let's analyze Oxy ahead of earnings here. 63.94 implied move. Let me actually cross-check that. Look at the one-day min and max on this gamma levels indicator and see. Yeah, about I'm seeing like 56. So yeah, about a $60 move, give or take. Let's see. And we were going to look at Oxy. That's right. Analyze the upcoming Oxy earnings. Tell me why Oxy looks like garbage and the rest of the oil and energy names are flying sidekick. Yep, Davis, that sounds about right. 2-day out is Friday. Yep. And I think it's monthly option. Yeah, it's monthly OPEX. I think today was Vixpiration also. You guys are just joining in. Welcome in, by the way. We are waiting for Sidekick to analyze Oxy, and here it is. EPS estimate at 0.19, expecting 5.7 billion in revenue. Analysts revised forecast downward ahead of the call. What is it talking about? Iran nuclear talks remain volatile. Tensions spiked today. Yes, we know. And it is still a closely watched Berkshire position. Bull case is Iran tensions escalating, of course. And it's saying hold into earnings. EPS expectations are already scrubbed low, but revenue headwinds are real, it says. The stock is leveraged to crude, a macro variable nobody controls. Yep, Buffett does own a ton of Oxy. It says over 264 million shares, roughly 27% of the company. Wow. Well, they've been on the up and up a little bit, but I mean, compared to like, I don't know, ExxonMobil, they are not looking super hot. Or like CVX, which is another one that Buffett recently bought. Oh, man. Yeah. Oxy, kind of boring going into earnings, not going to lie. Carvana should be very fun to watch, though. I'm actually kind of excited to see what's going on in Carvana as we come up to the market close. In a few minutes, we should get Jermaine, the Strat Soldier, in. He's going to be our guest for today. Yeah, Buff has been in Oxy for quite a while now. I think a lot of people are wondering why, even back then, he's been buying Oxy for a while. We go here to the Warren Buffett buys. Where was it? Here it is. AD. See you later, Brian. Appreciate you tuning in as always. Have a good day. And then I'm gonna look for some Berkshire Hathaway buys. What was I looking for? Oxy. Symbol contains Oxy. Last time Warren Buffett bought the Oxy was in February and May of last year, about a year ago. Yeah, so they've on how does that line up? Yeah, 264 million shares, exactly what Brian was just saying. But AD, I don't know what this is, but holy crap, this thing gaps down a lot. What is AD? Who said this? Michael. It's my name. Hopefully you have not been holding this. AD. But wow. Having some wild moves. It looks like their revenue is falling off of a cliff. I don't know how you go from making almost $1.25 billion to 47 million. But we can use Sidekick to go ahead and take a look at it. When you take a look at AD, both fundamentally, tell me what is going on. Yeah, shorting. Yeah, I'm not much of a short myself, but could be worth shorting, I suppose. Oh man. AD. What's going on here? What is going on, Matt? Vertiv, what do you think about Qantas Services and Sterling Infrastructures? I'm not going to lie, I have no idea. But I can take a look at Vertiv for you. What is that? VRT, right? VRT is a great looking stock to me. Revenue continues to increase, and they recently had a power earnings gap. I can go ahead and analyze those questions using Sidekick in just a second here. Right after I look at AD, it's a major business transformation. They had a revenue collapse. So yeah, basically restructuring. Interesting. But let's take a look at VRT because this is a pretty cool name. Take a look at VRT. What do you think about Qantas Services and Sterling Infrastructure? I'm loading your question into my big brain right now. But from a technical standpoint, power earnings gap is definitely something that's good to see. And the chat is just about at 100, which means the absolute strength is very nice. And I believe the relative performance on this one is very high as well. The relative performance has been above 90 for quite a while, as you can see here. So if you've just been holding on to this one, it has been a decent hold. From a trend following perspective with a pair band indicator, it's been okay on the weekly chart. You could have caught this trend right here, and then you're probably caught like you probably in right now, probably since like July or something, holding this newer trend. And yeah, we're taking a look at your question about VRT right now in Sidekick. But Strat Soldier just messaged me. He said he's getting on any second now. So a couple of things here. For one, VRT, yes, Q4 beat on EPS. We know their earnings was good. And it looks like guidance was very good as well. So VRT, very nice play. Guidance was very good. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a long until it goes ahead and hits a stop loss, a trailing stop loss, depending on however you want to use one. Use one of Sean Day's indicators. You can just go ahead and use a trailing stop of, I don't know, something like 20%. Maybe not. Strat Soldier, I think, is hopping in right now. Let's take a look at Quantus Services, 70 billion market cap. PWR is the ticker. Okay. PWR looks pretty good. Relative performance and chats are banging. Just had a recent breakout. I love it. I would just hold it with a trailing stop personally. Overwhelmingly bullish analyst consensus. City at 540, Cantor. Yeah. Earnings are coming up. Oh, is PWR reporting earnings today? Tomorrow pre-market. So just be aware of PWR's Quanta Services earnings tomorrow morning, but it looks good to me. STRL. Also, recent breakout, nice trend. It looks like it's pulling back. So if you're not in yet, good chance to buy on a pullback above your trailing stop. Let me add Strat Soldier to the stage right here. GLW.
What's going on?
Well, what's up, Jermaine? How you doing, man?
How you doing? Things are good.
Pretty good, pretty good. Welcome to the stream. How's your day been?
Things are good. Easy day at work. And then it's finally warming up, so it's not so cold outside, and the snow's finally melting. I don't know what I don't know where you're at, but the snow's finally gone here.
Yeah, where I'm in California, so snow over here. Actually, it does snow. I did see on some people's social medias that it was snowing in Central California. We get a little bit of snow in some place. Not where I am though, but where are you at?
Indiana.
Okay, yeah. I used to live in Chicago, so I know very well how the weather can be over there.
So interesting enough, it's noon for you. This is lunchtime for you.
Yeah, it's 12. Yeah, like 12:30. Yep.
That is crazy. I went to Las Vegas. This is a couple of years ago, and I was in Vegas, and still doing I was at the time I was doing the strat stuff as well, and I got to tell my people what's going on in the market, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get up when the market opens, and the market opens in California at 6:30 in the morning. I was like, golly, this is terrible.
Yeah, it's brutal. It is brutal. The market opens very early here, but it's kind of get used to it over time, but sometimes it's just tough no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I hear you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you do work and you live in California, hopefully you're finding a job that or you have one that lets you trade before you actually have to go in. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
That would be it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or you got to be, more of a swing trader or something,
Oh yeah, definitely. Always. Yeah, that's always the
Of
key.
course, of
Um,
course, of course. But yeah,
but
man. Thanks for joining in. Been a pretty, honestly, not the most like crazy day at all. I mean, SPY was up pretty good this morning, but it looks like it gave back most of its gains. And then, yeah, there's really not much going on, to be honest. I've been live for a bit here. I've been looking at Carvana. Apparently, it's going to be a very interesting report. I was using Sidekick to analyze it. There's been all of these like Gotham City short reports coming out on it, and very interesting stuff happening in the options market. And it was telling us, there's a ton of unusual options activity at 320 there.
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
No,
the
and it does.
lows.
Yeah. Here, let me
Sorry, go
pull
ahead.
it up in my chat right here. Ready to go.
Yeah, I
Here
don't
it is.
know. I mean, looking at the month, looking at it strat wise, but looking at the month, it's trading lower this month than last month. We call that a 2-2 reversal down.
Yeah.
And then so we definitely want to notice that, but it's inside week, which means it's stuck. So this thing can go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully Carvana has a good report for us. But you know how these earnings go. There could be good news, good numbers, and it still goes down. So
Yeah,
let's see what they
absolutely.
want to do.
I was
Yeah.
curious, what do you think about this daily here? Because it looks like a couple days ago, or like February 13th, like last week, it was an
Mm-hmm.
inside candle. And then I guess this was the next day, that like yesterday was also just almost an inside candle. But then we're breaking up today. Do you ever use the daily like that? Or are you mostly on the weekly and the monthly when you're analyzing this kind of strat setups?
So I'm looking at 4 time frames at the same time. So
Yeah.
my TrendSpider has, like I said, 4 time frames on the same
Yep.
screen. So I'm looking at the month, the weekly, the daily, and the 60s, and that shows me, okay, yes, they did come in. I can see this daily moving up, and that's interesting. But so I look at the 60s, and it just shows they bought that very first hour and then kind of did nothing the rest of the day, waiting for earnings to
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
report. So when you
No,
when you
yeah,
look at 4 different time frames like that, it's easier to really see what's happening.
for sure.
Yeah. When you're looking at one time frame, we call it the vortex, where you're like, oh man, it's running. I know it's running, it's blasting. And then you look at the daily, like you said, and you're like, this is an inside day. This thing
Right.
stinks.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, it's good. Yeah, it's great. I love that. The full time frame continuity. We were just recently talking about VRT as well. Somebody was asking me to plot a Fibonacci
Mm.
on VRT. Let me take a look for you for research for Matt out here. Let's see what kind of fibs you might be looking at. I'm guessing, if I were to guess, you're looking at these fibs right here. Let me go ahead and reverse this. Yeah, so there's some extensions here. The 1.618 at 303.80. Yeah, so that's what you were looking at. I mean, fib extensions are really cool. I think they are really good context. And I do think that people are looking at them, especially when price goes in price discovery mode, just as potential, sell points. But there's also a lot of trends that go straight past these to the 2 to the 3. But definitely good context right there for VRT. If you're this type of person that like to sell into strength, on it's making new all-time highs, that 303.80 is probably a good spot to go ahead and do it. Man, look at that. There's a nice reaction there at this 61.8 level, which is interesting too.
Yeah. Yep. That's interesting. Looks like, to me, it looks like it was just trading sideways for a few weeks, and then really took off like right after, let's say about 197.15. Then it really was like, hey, let's buy this now.
Yep. Yeah.
Even I would even say 181.24 is when they were like, okay, let's start doing it. At that 312 reversal up. Scenario 3 is that red bar, takes out both sides of the previous range. Then you
This one
have,
here.
yep. and then January 12th inside week, and then the very next week, as soon as it traded
Yeah,
above 180.88.
true.
Yeah, start a small position, see if it keeps going, and when it starts blasting right here, add.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure, for
Add
sure. Yeah, and
bird.
yeah, that in the 1618 definitely could be a good first target. You know, if you're looking
Mhm.
for a target, you can also go ahead and add more like the 2.618. Because if you look at stuff like, I don't know if you've been trading the memory names, Jermaine,
Mm-mm.
absolutely insane. Like Micron, it blew through all of these extensions here. Like we got the 2 to 3. SanDisk, I
Mhm.
think, went to like the 5 or the 6. It's like, how can you possibly like know that that's going to happen? You know, like if you sold at the 1618 and you see it
Yeah,
go to like the 4, it's like, damn, you know.
yeah, and that really goes to leaving runners. You don't have to sell all of it. Because that
True.
thing, yeah, SanDisk went crazy. I was doing a interview with Agnieszka Wood, and she was saying she brought up SanDisk, and I was like, was it $80 to 630 or something really crazy like
Hold
that?
up.
And I'm like, what the heck? How come I've not been talking about this? And it just never came up on the radar. It's not one of
Oh
those
yeah.
stocks that I look at. So missed
No,
it.
I hear you. It was a high flyer. It was a high flyer. Like it was easy to miss for sure. Like in this whole uptrend right here, it's like how no one would have predicted this thing was gonna fly.
Yeah, it's like, did they cure cancer? What the heck's going on here? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a memory shortage. Like I guess yeah, there was like this inside week here maybe, and then the breakout. But
Hmm.
again, it was just on nobody's radar. These memory names, like it's a spinoff from Western Digital,
Mm.
WDC here, and this
Okay.
one
Yeah.
too. I mean, it's just been straight up, like absolutely nuts. Um,
Yeah. We've
and
been watching
recently they've been
Western. Yeah, we've been
really
watching
good.
Western. We call it Western Digi, but we've been watching them
Nice.
for a while, and
Yeah.
that's a lesson for me definitely to look at other memory names. And I just got Western Digital is another one. We've been trying to find entries in there. We'll work it a little bit, but then yeah, that's another one that just went crazy. It's
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
There's four that I'm looking at. Micron is the biggest one, or
Yeah.
Micron and Western Digital. Micron's been
Hmm.
setting up pretty interesting here as well. They've all kind of started, taming down a little bit, consolidating, and just waiting to see what the next move is. It's either going to be another leg up or probably a pretty rough way down. Because I mean, these things are up so much in just a short amount of time. Like
Yeah.
561%, like insane.
Yeah. So these are amazing. And they're obviously jammed with buyers. But I think it's a good reminder. Don't start shorting stuff just because it's at the top. Like,
Right.
don't do it.
I've been seeing people do that and it blows my mind. It's like yeah, I get it. It's up a ton, but it's like it's going to be tough to fight this trend, man.
Yeah.
It'll be real
Yeah.
tough. And I forget which Fibonacci's I drew on this, but let me see if I can find. This is
Oh my gosh, hurts my
WDC.
eyes. I'm gonna have to wash my eyes when I get done looking at this.
Too many
I'm just
lines.
kidding. I'm joking.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I really need to like fix these Fibonacci lines to only show the ones that actually like matter. Like, you don't really need a lot of these. Like 2, 3, 6, 3,
Hmm.
8, 2. The 5 is kind of cool, but here's SNDK. Actually, just recently hit the 2618 there.
Yeah.
I don't really use Fibonacci's in my own personal trading, but I think they're kind of fun to look at.
Yeah,
Um,
they
with the
are definitely
extensions,
something. Hmm.
it's like that, just to see like potential selling points on the chart.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, interesting stuff there. But today we have a DoorDash coming in.
DoorDash. Let's
Yep,
see what we
DoorDash.
got.
What do you think of DoorDash? Nice move up today.
Uh, yeah. We're out of the ashes, 2-2 reversal back up on the day. Today's trading higher than yesterday. But again, it did the same thing most of the stocks did. It went straight up the first hour and then kind of doing nothing. So I mean, you
Yeah,
do have a, we call that a Momo hammer in force right there, right now. It's in force right now. I mean, that's a way in. But honestly, if I want to get in on DoorDash, I want to see a reversal on the week to the upside.
I
At
hear
least
you.
give me that, because look at the month. It is beat up.
Oh yeah.
The month is
Oh.
they've been spanking this one. Like, it's bad. It's been in trouble. So um yeah, for me to take a reversal on this, I would definitely wait for something on the week to take this up. But we'll see what earnings does for this one. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's just a few minutes, right? Earnings.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Earnings and the market closes in 12. Let me see what time these things are going to be released. But I totally agree with what you said. Monthly, it looks like it's starting to downtrend. It is, they have technically a support somewhere around here at like 155. That could be a potential bounce area from April on the monthly there.
Mm-hmm.
The IPO price is right around there as well, like 164. But as you can see, they had an all-time high up here. This fake kind of breakout above it, and just anyone that was buying the breakout in DoorDash they just got sold off on almost instantly there, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be fun to watch nonetheless. Let's see what time they report. Yeah, 5 minutes after the bell. We also got Oxy, we got eBay, we got Figma, FIG, and Carvana. So some pretty fun names. Figma. You're gonna hate this one probably.
You're gonna hate this one.
Yeah, look at this. I
Figma.
mean, it's hard. It's hard to. I mean, unless you're just like a long-term investor that really loves this company, like even then you have to
Ooh,
like look at the fundamentals. It's a brand new on the market. This
yeah,
looks terrible.
yeah. It would,
Um,
like, again, if I would wait to see what it does on the week and start a small position, just really small, to see what this thing's going to do. But yeah, you're right. Whoever bought this thing at 137, excuse me, at 134.78, they're not happy. They're not happy. Whoever bought
yeah.
this thing at $68, they're not happy. Yeah.
Let's see
So
where the anchored VWAP might be. Anchored VWAP, right around 55. So that's where the average person is in, probably around 55,
mm,
which is kind of brutal. But yeah, I mean, on the weekly, they are posting potentially their second inside week.
yeah,
Last week, it looks like it was inside week, and potentially this week again. So it could be setting up for maybe a breakout. You never
yeah,
know. Last time they
yeah.
did that,
Seriously.
though, yeah.
Definitely. That's awesome. A comment in the chat, SJD News says, you two are an awesome team. Thanks for the stream. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike, for letting me on. I really do. It's fun. I do really do
Yeah, of
appreciate it.
course. Yeah, and by the way, this is Jermaine the Strat Soldier. His info is down in the description below on YouTube. Follow him on X, uh, or I believe your YouTube is in there as well. I forget, but yeah, check him out in the description below.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Anyways, we also got
Figma,
eBay. Or go ahead. Oh yeah,
eBay,
Figma.
eBay. We were watching eBay. Let me see. What were we doing with eBay? Okay. To the lows. So 2 down on the month. They've been selling it on the month. Next week looks like it could be good, with a hammer forming on the week. We need to see how that thing closes, but we'll see what earnings does. It could be good for tomorrow, but I don't know. One thing I really like about TrendSpider is I can hit this column on the side and look for insider trading, just the insider traders, and see what they're doing. And it's not as bad. I mean, it does show some selling. It does show some selling, but sometimes we'll get on the weekend shift, my show I do on Saturdays, and we'll get on there and we're like, let's look at the insiders. And everybody's selling. It's always some guy named Marty that just sold 19,000 shares or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
just selling the mess out of it. And they're like, I'm like,
Yep.
you want to buy in there right now? Like, so.
That's exactly what was happening with Coinbase. I mean, I don't think a single insider has bought Coinbase. They're just always dumping shares. The CEO himself has not missed a single week of selling shares, and it's kind of wild to me. It's like, wow, These guys
It
just
is wild.
really don't
Yeah,
care.
I'm looking at it right now on my side, and yeah, you're right. This thing, they said, give me my money, take it
Yeah,
out of this right now.
yeah, no conviction, or they just need the money. Who knows? But I mean, after like
Let me just,
tens of millions of dollars, you think he would be set for a little bit, you know?
yeah,
But
yeah.
um, yeah, eBay
Jeez.
here on the weekly and the monthly at a clear pivot level going into earnings. Market closed in 8 minutes. It was their previous all time high. If we zoom out,
Okay.
um, so definitely want to see it hold this, as you said as well. Um, the weekly is actually made a new low on the weekly, but potentially forming a hammer right there, which is interesting, like you said. Good observation.
Well, thank
But
you,
yeah,
thank you. And
last or good.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the gaps down on or just the gaps in general. Last earnings was a gap down on eBay. The earnings for that was a gap up. So stock likes the gap basically on these earnings announcements. So we'll see if we get another one today. If you guys are out there in the chat, you guys are playing any of these stocks, let us know. Let us know what you guys are playing. Always interested to see what people are trading going into these earnings. Um, but yeah, is there anything in particular that you've been looking for in the markets lately, Jermaine?
uh,
Any good setups?
Really, we're just trying to find some signals that are working, like CNC. We can go look at
CC.
CNC. I like to call this one CNC Sound Machine. I have nicknames for all of them, but it's a
Nice,
nice reversal on the week.
nice. There
Scenario
you
two,
go.
yep, scenario two down on the February 2nd, February 9th inside bar that lets us know, okay, we got an actionable signal. They, it could go either way. Let's see what they want to do. And then this week they take them up. So that's the kind of stuff that we really want to look for in the strat is give me a reversal. Now will it go all the way back up to $46.51? Who knows? Maybe. But and will it keep on going after that? Maybe. But that gives me when I on those other stocks I was talking about. This is something like this is a great example on give me something I can actually work. Like give me a reason to believe this is the buyers are really in here, like at least the week. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. And quick breakdown. I was learning about the strat last time you were on, but essentially you're buying the breakout, um, really the open probably from this week, right? Like rise up broke above
Mm-hmm.
here, and then your
Yep.
price target to be one of these previous candles. Like technically, this week's high right here is what 43.45 could be a first target, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're definitely a good student, Mike. That was
Thanks.
perfect. That was
Love
perfect.
it. Love it.
And we try to keep it simple. Like I think I was saying this last time. Uh I'm not looking for, I'll say that. I'm not looking for fair value gaps. I'm not looking for, a place for this thing to bounce. I'm not looking for any of that. I'm looking for, I'm looking reversal. I'm looking for actionable signals, time frame continuity, and the broadening formation. So, and I'm looking, to work those retracement trades back and forth. So
Yeah.
instead of using Fibonacci's, to say, okay, this is could be where, it goes back the other way. We're looking at the broadening formation and we're looking at price discovery to say, okay, like you said on the one of the other charts, we made a new low. Let's see if we go take out the other side because we know they like to test both sides of the range.
Yeah. Let me see. Is there any broadening auto plotted here? No, there isn't. Do you have one drawn? Is there a broadening formation on this guy on CNC?
There was one on the daily. If you turn those auto ones back on and go back to the daily, there's one.
I
There
see.
should.
There
Yep.
you go.
Yep. There you go. Yep. Yeah. Sometimes I've definitely drawn myself, but those automatic ones, I worked with TrendSpider on those broadening formations when they were like, we want to
Nice.
automate them. So I got on a call with I forgot the guy's name, but I got on a call with him and I'm like, I'd draw it back like this, or I would draw it back like that. And pretty soon, a couple weeks later, bam, we got automatic broadening formations. So
Probably Russ, maybe.
yeah, I think that sounds
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, great guy. Super smart.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love
Um,
that.
so let me see. Your CNC is one. Nike is one that is really
Nike.
interesting. I'm not sure if it's going to go all the way back up to 78, but it's definitely moving this week back to the highs. You know, back to the highs. And one thing I have been looking at, and you posted, maybe I say you because you're TrendSpider right now, but going back to SPY on the daily, I don't know who posted the chart, but I'm going to say it was you just for the context of the conversation. But looking at this daily, I mean, look at this thing. It's just trading sideways for I mean, that's nasty. That's a nasty range. And yes, we are getting a reversal back up today, which is good, but we're kind of going back into no man's land. It's just like right back in the middle. Even if we get back to the highs of that, we're still stuck in that middle of that range, just back and forth. And look, what's the Fibonacci look like on this thing? Just wondering.
Actually, there was a very interesting fib that we posted, I'll say, our social media guy. This 1.618. If you go from the February high to the April low, it's reacting right against the 1618 level right there.
Yep, I'm seeing that on the weekly chart. Yeah. It's just which makes sense because it's like all-time highs. So I kind of liken that to like my analogy for that is like a moth. You know how a moth hits like the light bulb and it bangs its little head and it comes back down and hits it again and comes back down. It's kind of like that.
It's just for sure. I mean, like you said, it has not gone anywhere. You can even turn on the daily and you should see the same thing. I mean, look at it. It's just constant rejection to that level, like 694, which also happens to be all-time highs. Anytime it hits a new all-time high, it's instantly sold. Not exactly ideal. And as you said, I think I remember what you're talking about now. There's just like all these squiggly lines, right? It's like new, So that's ultimately might be what's happening for the next couple of weeks. But we do have NVIDIA earnings coming up next week. Could be a good catalyst to finally get some movement. Like, I don't know, QQQ looks actually a little worse, a little bit more bearish, but again, still just not really going anywhere. But there's the bell. Let's go ahead and go over to DoorDash here. I think DoorDash is the first one. Let me double check.
Not gonna lie, I heard that the dinging, and I was like, hold on, what's going on in my house? What?
Just
any dads out there, you hear some weird noises, you're like, stop playing in that toilet.
Love it. That's hilarious. But that was the market bell. Day is over. Pretty I mean, it was a good morning, but the rest of the day was pretty boring. But hopefully get some excitement here with earnings.
Let me turn these aftermarket hours. I usually turn these off, but I'll say this with TrendSpider, it's easy to turn them on. In some of these other platforms that shall not be mentioned, you gotta really dig into the menu to find those. But it's right there on the screen.
Yep. The after hours you're talking about, right?
Yep. It's right there. And like I said, normally during the day, I turn that stuff off. A lot of people ask me, do you look at it? And I do in the pre-market and the post because I want to see what's going on. But honestly, when the bell rings at 6:30 in the morning for you, I want to know what's happening right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I usually keep them off too, except for really these earnings streams, or if anything, it's actually kind of cool if you go on the daily chart, like after the day's open or like the next day, it does show the movement up to the daily, which is also very unique. Most platforms do not show after hours data on daily candles. So kind of unique there. But we're just waiting for Dash here to come out. Got a few minutes.
Were you dropping it down to the 5 minute? Now if you could turn your the broadening formation back on. I got one on my 5 minute. Yeah, bam.
Interesting.
Right there.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. So honestly, we'd be looking. Go ahead.
I don't know. you think
Yeah,
the
look, I was gonna
earnings will
say
react to that?
it's at the top there. So I mean, we would be looking for this thing to start moving down. But hey, it's earnings. Anything can happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's anything can happen.
No, absolutely. But we'll see. We will see. Let's see how these other names are looking, like Carvana. Carvana also has a couple broadening formations. Not as good looking, but yeah, kind of same formation there for Carvana. We got Cake, or what else? We got Oxy. It's another big one reporting. That one's okay. Figma. Interested to see what Figma does, honestly. You guys are out there in the chat. By the way, Mr. Fawad, thanks. But definitely not all me behind all the stuff. Definitely not me on the X. You know, I pull my weight here somewhat. But let's see. That's a Carvana.
This is pretty funny. Brian says Carvana, I hope it tanks. What a BS company.
Yeah, we were talking about all this craziness going on. Maybe we can cover that again. Was it this? Get my sidekick over here. But there's all these short reports, and I guess they're potentially cooking the books is basically the TLDR of what's going on with Carvana.
What?
Yeah. So, allegations of accounting issues and inflated earnings sent the stock sharply lower on January 28th or around there. And then again on February 3rd, fresh short allegations came in.
Dang.
And so I went ahead and I was like, what is the merit behind these short reports? Are these actual shorts? What does this even mean for traders?
Mm-hmm.
It said, is there merit? It says Carvana's own SEC filings acknowledge this is a genuine structural risk. But basically what happened right here is that there's inflated earnings via undisclosed related party transactions with Bridgecrest, which is the loan servicing arm affiliated with DriveTime, which is controlled by the Garcia family. So it's kind of a rabbit hole here, which Carvana is controlling shareholders. And then and there's basically accounting irregular. I can't say that.
Irregular.
Yeah, that is
irregularity. Irregularity. There it is.
Irregularity. There you go.
Golly, look at that. Real time to the lows. Jeez. Yep. Well, no, came back up. Yeah, it's going back down. Wow, Brian. Wow, Brian 2973. Anyway, Brian really just put the voodoo on this thing. Jeez. Brian was over there with a voodoo doll and a number 2 pencil, just stabbing it right in the eye, like, die.
That's hilarious. And this thing is tanking right now in the after hours session. Let's put on our counter here. We got a little indicator. After hours change down 8% real time right now.
Wow.
And keep an eye on 320 because apparently the 320 put has over $5 million in put premiums. So definitely something to pay attention to. We are flying off my chart, heading right to that level right here at 320, this major put wall.
I got it. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All good.
Excuse me.
Carvana tanking. Dash. Let's see if Dash is moving. Dash also tanking. Here's the Dash numbers for you guys out there. EPS missed pretty bad. 48 cent versus 60 cent estimate. Sales also missed. Double miss on Carvana. Honestly, haven't seen a double miss in quite a while. That is brutal. So, yeah, RIP to DoorDash. What was this level? Oh, this level on my chart is the, what was this actually? Oh, yeah, it was this previous support from April and almost hit it. Sent down about 4% right now. Terrible report for DoorDash. As you guys can see, if you guys are in DoorDash, let me know down in the chat below. And let me know why if you are in DoorDash. But, whoa, look like we're getting a movement back to the upside. Now it's back up 4%. Congrats now if you're in DoorDash. I am not holding any DoorDash. personally, so I have no stake in this whatsoever. But yeah, if I was in this, I would be really diving into what is going on with these earnings. I mean, DoorDash is just crazy expensive, and in this economy, I just don't. I think that was the case last time, like I was saying earlier, along with Chipotle. It's just not a lot of people are door dashing these days. Let's go back to CVNA. Wow, Carvana under the 320 level. Carvana is getting creamed. Figma, let's take out Figma. Figma, 16%. Woo! That is nutty. Wow. What is their numbers? Not seeing Figma numbers quite yet. CVNA, though. Oh, boy. Wow. Oh, my God. Doesn't get much worse than this, you guys. Jermaine, you called it, man. This broadening formation.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Look how much I have to drag my chart down. It is just,
Jeez.
oh my goodness, it is still going.
Devastation. So yeah, I turned the aftermarket on the daily as well, just so give it a little bit more context. But yeah, it's straight to the lows. And this is, I know this is an over simplified and very dramatic example of how we want to use these broadening formations, but that's what I was talking about. Instead of instead of using fibs, I want to say, okay, I want to see where this thing could possibly go back to the other, the other side. So
yeah,
wow, Carvana to the lows. Let me see here. It goes
crazy.
It goes
drop.
3-2. Wow, it's going to be wow.
Here's the numbers, by the way, for anyone wondering. Sales beat. They actually beat sales 5.6 billion versus 5.25, and then where's the EPS? I'm not seeing EPS or Carvana Q4 EPS 4.22 does not compare to 1.09 estimate. I don't even know what that means. It does not compare. They're cooking the books.
It sounds, you say it so matter of fact. They're cooking the books. Yeah. We can see it. We know.
4.22 EPS compared to the 1.09 estimate. How does that even happen?
Jeez. So this thing is going to, on the weekly chart, it's going to gap. Well, I don't say gap down because the week's already started, but this is going to go. This is going to bring down the weekly really far if it stays where it's at. If it stays where it's at. A lot of times too, with these earnings, you'll see something like this, and then you're like, "Yes, I got puts. I'm going to be making all this money." And then by 9:30, it's right back where it was. You're like, "Oh,
true,
boo."
Very true. But what it's at 290. Let me put a little line down here at this level, 284.
Yeah.
See where that is. So it's actually reacting to that level as we speak here on the weekly. Previous all-time high in February, or not an all-time high, but a swing high.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. We'll see if it holds above that. 320 Sidekick was saying it was a major put wall, and it blew right through that. Right through that. So the shorts are probably winning at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're in profit, so they might hammer this thing, you guys. They might just keep hammering this. What was I looking for? The Mentor Q gamma levels. I think it probably blew through all of these. We had put support 0DT at 298 to like 300 basically, and that one-day minimum at 320 just blew through it all. So congrats if you're shorting Carvana. What's going on here?
I like to play earnings after the fact, after the news came out. But yeah, if you got puts before, you're definitely winning right now. Jeez.
Absolutely. Even with the IV crush, I think you're still going to be good. Let's see how Oxy's holding in there. It's Energy has been pretty big across the board, but no movement at all in Oxy yet.
Okay.
What else do we
Yeah.
got?
Just kind of sitting there. Let's go with what's Fig. What's
Yeah,
Fig?
you look at this thing up
What
15%.
what is Fig fitting to do? What is
I
Fig fitting to do?
Yeah, this thing is blown above. Well, I would say blown above resistance, but they got a lot of resistance still to get through. They got to get back above 30 right here from this range. But honestly, it's looking pretty good. Let's see. Did their numbers come out yet?
Oh my
See
gosh.
numbers. Such a new stock. Let me see if I can
Yeah.
look at their IR, investor relations. I'm sure they have it on their website. Maybe.
Yeah, is this one of those that couldn't go down any lower type of situations? Is this actual?
Right.
Let's see.
Well, they said 2025 is the best quarter yet. Revenue at
Fig stock.
1.05 billion. Whoa, wait.
This is 8 days ago, but Figma stock rises after JP Morgan's rebound prediction. Figma shares are trading higher Tuesday as software stock rebounds, helped by JP Morgan's call for recovery from recent AI-driven volatility. So, I mean, that could be definitely, I'm sure they're definitely pumping up that type of news as well, even though that was 8 days ago.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm seeing a diluted EPS of 0.08 and gap of negative 0.44 loss per share. But for the fiscal for 2025, their whole year, the revenue is 1.05 billion, which is a 41% year over year increase. So they're loving that, I'm sure.
Yeah, up $4 from the close, just ripping to the
Yeah,
highs.
17%. Congrats if you're buying this fallen knife. Hopefully you timed the bottom somehow on this thing. But yeah, I mean, it's a good company, I think, overall. They just had a really rough IPO. And it's going to take a while for this thing to correct itself technically on the charts. But yeah, good move. Good move.
Yeah.
I love to see stocks moving up like this. It's always
Yeah,
fun.
and one of the few, I mean, maybe definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the few AI stocks that are actually doing something. A lot of these other ones are just kind of like, no, I was going to say selling off, but maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Oh, are you talking about Figma? Yeah, I mean,
Well, I mean, just like AI stocks in general. Like, has an
yeah.
AI stock taken a hit, or is it? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you look at stuff like, I don't know, Microsoft, it's a kind of a mixed bag. It's really software, I'd say, right now. That's taking
Right.
the
Right.
real beatings.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. They've been calling that the software sell-off.
Yeah, like Microsoft absolutely dying. But then you got like TSM, which is, selling the chips. They've been doing pretty good still.
Mm-hmm.
Nvidia's, the king, or honestly was the king at this point. Hasn't gone anywhere in a while.
Yeah.
It's hanging in there. It's trading like the SPY, not really
Yeah.
moving. And they have earnings next week. What else? What else?
AMD.
AMD.
Two down
Yeah.
on the month right now. So we'll see what they want to do next week. Two down on the week as well. Not really getting killed. That's another thing too about looking at these 4 time frames at one time, because I can look at the month and go, okay, the sellers are in control of the month, and then
Yeah.
I can look at the week and go, well, it's not, I mean, it is trading lower this week, but it's not really getting murdered. And then you look at the daily and the 60 and you're like, all right, it is going down, but it's not really not getting killed. It's not.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. AMD is just really trying to hang in there and not fill this gap to the downside. And it's hanging in
Yeah.
there. I mean, it creeps, makes a little low, comes back up, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's been the story of AMD.
Yeah.
AMAT has been killing it too. Applied Materials, another chip name.
Yes. AMAT. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's been a great one. But yeah, pretty good moves today, I would say. Carvana, wow, look at that move. Absolutely. It's still going. I think it's made a new low in Carvana. Wow.
Jeez, look at that. Yeah. Continuing to the lows.
That is
So
brutal.
my thing is when the 24-hour markets really take off, like for real, and we can actually play, something like this. We can actually work something like this as you see it dropping so dramatically. I mean, yeah, I think that could totally be a positive for. But I mean, at the same time, it could work out like how FOMC is. That's kind of dramatic as well during the day.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a game changer once we go 24 hours for real, and
it'll definitely shake up the markets. That's for sure. I mean, we already got it with crypto.
That's true.
Speaking of crypto, how is Bitcoin hanging in there these days? Do you trade crypto at all?
No, I call them Pepsi points. I don't know if you know anything about Pepsi points. You know those?
I don't
Oh
know.
man, I'm gonna date myself so much. All right, so back in the day, get ready. Back in the day, you buy Pepsi and then you screw the cap off of the bottle, and then you get like points.
Yeah,
and you collect so many of them, and then and then you get like a hat, or you turn them in, you get a T-shirt or whatever.
right.
So that's I call them Pepsi points. It's not it's not real. So having said that, I tell people, if you're going to trade crypto, do it, be careful, and then when you do make money, do whatever you can to exchange that into real money. And
yeah.
But I mean, it's starting to become, and I know crypto is starting to be a lot more legit type of thing. So my comments on that are probably starting to age, but
yeah, no, I hear you. There's been the technology behind it, like blockchain, is good. There's been a lot of crazy stuff, like all the pump and dump, all the meme coins, kind of just. I'm not big into crypto myself, but yeah, just for the industry itself, there's been a lot of weird stuff like NFTs, like selling for millions of dollars, like the whole FTX scandal. There's just been a lot of weird stuff that just makes people skeptical and not helping its case. And then we got Michael Saylor, of course, with the MicroStrategy. It's absolutely getting creamed right now on if Bitcoin. I think he was saying, I don't know if you saw the videos of Saylor like a week or two ago. People are questioning him. It's like, what if crypto falls below and you get margin called? He's like, we'll just roll it forward. Like if he
yeah.
A lot of leverage, basically. A lot of leverage in crypto.
That's a heck of a gamble there, and that's tough. That is tough. Yeah, Carvana continuing to lows. Let's go see what finna do. Looks like it's still going up, slowing down a little bit. But yeah, hanging in there. I like that. Hanging in there.
Oh, we have some news here. So Figma, 8 cents beats the 7-cent estimate, and then revenue at 303 million, beating 293 million. Really nice. And then forward guidance for 2026 revised higher than the analysts expected at 1.37 or so billion versus 1.28. And Q1 sales for just Q1 way up. It's expecting 315 versus 291. Can't really have a much better report than that. So bravo to Figma on that nice report. Very, very good. But they still have a lot of bag holders to get through. Every time the stock pops up, there's going to be just another row of bag holders breaking even and wanting to get out for a profit, sending it down. It's just going to be, it's going to take a while probably for this one to pick up some steam, but it's so far been killing it on paper. So
Heck
starting to improve.
What else? Dash. What's Dash?
Oh yeah, let's take a look at Dash again here.
Let's see. Oh,
very
trying
crazy
to come back up.
Candle. Yeah. This 155 level was what was this? Yeah, that was just a previous support back from April. Kind of reacted right there here on the 5. But still down 8% in the after hour session. And yeah, terrible earnings miss for DoorDash there. So not the greatest look. Let's see if Uber is reacting at all to that. Maybe they're going up. Not really. They're just sitting there. They actually went down a little bit, if anything. Maybe because people are expecting Uber to. Oh, they already had their earnings and they came down on them, but
yeah,
yeah.
Uber's definitely getting wrecked on the monthly chart.
Oh yeah.
I guess
Oh
coming off
yeah.
all-time highs, I guess, but still selling.
Yeah. It's back down into consolidation area.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's see.
Let
But
me
yeah, you
see.
guys, that's pretty much all the reports. Coke reply. Oh, eBay. Let's take a look at eBay.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Nice
Yeah.
bounce off this level right here. It's 81. I think this was the previous high, all-time high. Let's see. eBay signs agreement to acquire Depop from Etsy. Very cool, actually. 1.2
Wow.
billion in cash.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Depop is a pretty popular kind of like newer version of eBay. So that's interesting. And I didn't know
Yeah.
Etsy owned Depop.
Yeah. I've
Surprised they
been
sold it.
Yeah, seriously. I've been hearing a lot more about Depop.
Yeah.
But interesting. Is that one of those online auction type things, kind of like a Whatnot or something like that? Or is it
Yeah,
something
it's
different?
basically what I know about Depop. I think a lot of people use it to like sell their old like clothes and stuff, like their like their shoes, their designer shoes. It's like kind of unique, kind of like vintage clothing and stuff like that. So yeah, it's an online like store where anybody can go in there and sell their stuff, um, similar to eBay. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a little bit more of a niche market, kind of like Etsy. Like Etsy's kind of like for the handcrafted stuff. I think Depop is kind of like, I might be totally wrong here, but I think it's for more like vintage clothing and stuff like that. Or it's so
Okay. Very good.
it's a niche market.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Definitely.
yeah, earnings though, $1.41 beats the $1.35 estimate, and then sales beat the estimate as well, and then forward guidance. It looks like pretty good on EPS and revenue. So very good report for eBay, and perfect timing to bounce off their previous all-time high and support. So congrats if you bought the dip on eBay.
What's this Kirby thing here? It looks like how'd you do that?
So I was in. So these lines were drawn. Oh, actually, it's actually a broadening. It's one of the broadening formations. But since I was in log scale, it was
Ah,
curved a little bit. When I go back to
yeah.
linear, but yeah, it's a broadening on the weekly here. Bounce off the bottom of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the candle ticked a little bit lower there on the weekly though, which is interesting. See the
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah. Daily's moving. That's definitely gonna gap up in the morning.
Oh
Like I
yeah,
said, yeah, if it stays where it's at, definitely gap up in the morning.
yeah, it'll
Um,
open right at the top of this range right here, actually.
and what I like to do with these earnings, what I like to do is if there is a gap up, we do two things. Either we're going to see if they're going to keep buying, okay, because maybe they're just like eBay is it, we want eBay, or is it going to, because we in the strat we like to add to our positions. So if it was up, we want to add, right?
Right.
But not everybody trades the strat. Some people are going, well, it's at $89. I made my money. I'm taking it out.
Yeah.
So when it gaps up, we look for that reversal back down. And that's when, like I said, it beat earnings. Has great guidance, and it's going down all day long. And people are just like, why is it going down?
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's where you can, trade what you know to be true. And you're like, it gapped up, great earnings, but they're selling it today. So that's one way we would trade a gap up scenario. But again, it could gap up tomorrow, consolidate for an hour, and then go right back up. That could happen as well. Like I said, if eBay is the thing to do, and it's got Depop and all the other stuff, you know what I mean, and they're like, we want eBay. We'll look to see if they're continuing to buy.
Yeah.
So.
No, it makes sense. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
solid. But yeah, great move there. Definitely pay attention to it tomorrow. By the way, you have some scans in the TrendSpider store. I believe I put them in the description down below as well. If you guys are interested in learning these setups, from one, you can follow Jermaine on X, hit him up there. And then he also has a bunch of scanners on the TrendSpider store you can use for free if you're on TrendSpider already. So be sure to check those out as well. And people are asking about Oxy. So let's take a look. Oxy popping up. It's about up 2%. Earnings, we see 31 cents beating 18-cent estimate. That's a really good increase there, but that's all I'm seeing so far on Oxy. It's a really good EPS beat by 67% on the EPS front. So let's look at the, was that, hold on. It says 31 beating 18. Are these updated? I think that is updated. 31 beating 18, but it's significantly down from last quarter four in 2024, which was 80 cents. Check out the revenue. Now, looks like the revenue might have missed at 5.42 billion. Don't have a surprise. We don't know what the analyst said yet, but it's about 5% or so lower than last quarter four. So potentially a miss there on revenue, but pretty good beat on EPS so far is what I'm seeing. Year over year, though, it does not look good, but stock's up like 2%. Nothing crazy, but yeah, it's doing pretty good. Energy's pretty hot right now, so.
Yes, all of the energies have been going on the highs. I thought it was seeing some downside action, and I called that out earlier. Was it Tuesday? I know today's Wednesday, but Tuesday, I thought there was going to be some profit taking on XOM and VLO, but
yeah,
it kind of ticked down for a little bit and it went straight back up. So
yeah, it looks like the last 3 days before today on XOM were pretty nasty. They made a gap up there on the 11th, and 3 days that followed, they made some new lows, and looks like they're going to set up to potentially consolidate for a little bit, maybe. But today, really good day for energy. Let's look at XLE. Yeah, it was the war news today. There's a bunch of Iran news, causing oil to spike up today, which is probably the reason for the pop. Yeah, VLO has been on my radar as well. It's a good name. Look at the monthly here. Yeah, basically at all-time highs. So good one to watch out for.
Someone said cheesecake.
Oh yeah,
it's been doing well on the month. Gapping down, you're dropping right now in the after.
Is it
post market?
Oof, yeah, minus 7% on the cake. Let's take a look here. We got adjusted EPS at 1, beating 99-cent estimate, and sales also beat, so double beat. But not seeing any guidance yet on a cheesecake, but double beat so far on cheesecake.
Heck yeah.
So that's fun to see. Fun to see there.
Yeah, double beat on cheesecake, and it's going to lows. Like I said, it's odd.
Yeah,
it's odd.
Let's look at the daily or the weekly or the monthly. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear resistance up ahead on cheesecake here that's been failing to get through for a while now. I mean, they had an all-time high all the way back in 2017. This thing hasn't not been able to break above this this level right here, at least significantly, like a couple of wicks here and there, but yeah, fourth time it's gotten rejected again. So
yeah, I'm starting to say, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at it on a yearly chart. Yeah, definitely, it was awesome. And then I don't know, they took their profits, went back up again, and then back up again. So we'll see.
Kind of a wild yearly chart here, honestly.
Well, honestly, with these yearly charts, we're just looking to see if this year is trading higher than last year. Looking at the overall trend, what are they really doing? So
yeah, no, it's good. It's good to really zoom out. So it's an interesting look, but yeah, just really struggling there at 65. And I think that might be all of the earnings. We covered Cake, Carvana. Only things left is Coke and BKNG. Coke, I mean, consumer staples have been getting some good money flowing into them lately. Not really much going here. I mean, it's Coke, Coca-Cola. Looks like adjusted EPS beat pretty good year over year, at least at 2.11 up from 1.81. Sales at 1.9 versus 1.74 year over year. So pretty good report on Coke. And I think that's a new all-time high. Yep. So nice. And final one here. BKNG. Wow, they announced a 25-to-1 stock split effective April 2nd.
Finally.
It's only trading at 4.3K per share.
Yeah, this one comes up every once in a while because I'll have a reversal on it and you're like, yeah, it looks good. And I'm like, hold on a second. It's a $4,000 stock. I mean,
you're going to get slipped up in that one crazy amounts.
Yeah.
If you're even, depending on your account size, I mean, a lot of people might not be able to trade this one at all.
Yeah, which would be a 25-to-1 stock split. Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, so that means shares are going to roughly 173. So that's going to make it a lot more liquid, a lot more tradable. You won't get slipped up. I don't even want to know the bid-ask spread on this $4.3 thousand stock. I'm sure it's not very good though. But they raised their dividend. Quarter one sales for forward guidance looks like is up. EPS beat, sales beat. So good across the board. Very nice on BKNG.
Very good.
As it's again, it's actually bouncing off one of these previous highs. Pretty interesting level there at $4.1 thousand per share. Crazy. But yeah, pretty solid round of earnings today. I've been live since I don't have been live almost 3 hours now, so probably we'll cut it here pretty soon. Is there any final words of wisdom that you want to give to the people, Jermaine, on the markets?
No, we went over a lot of it. Most of the time we want to trade after the news comes out on these earnings. When we see the stock gap up, we're looking for the reversal back down. Same thing in reverse. If we're in reverse, if it's gap down, we look for the reversal back up. Just because price moves a different way when the 9:30 bell rings. Things just go the opposite direction sometimes. So yeah. That's it there. But on all the things you looked at, all the things we've been looking at, really good. Honestly, this was fun. The biggest surprise for me was Fig. That was fun, and then Carvana to the lows as far as it went. Jeez.
Yeah. Taking one last look at these guys.
Carvana coming back up? No, that was something else. No. I said no.
Yeah. Down 24%, Fig up 18%. Great, fun earnings. I love when I see these massive moves. So,
yeah, it's fun to see things move around. Yeah, someone said they wanted to see CIDU. It's a penny stock. I don't mess with penny stocks, but someone else, it's okay.
Is that SIDU? Yeah, I don't know about this. Some space name. I wouldn't touch it myself. I don't even know how you would trade this. I mean, look at this week. If your weekly chart looks like this, I mean,
yeah,
you're playing blackjack, man.
yeah, definitely not touching it. That's just me.
That's me. Yeah, I'm sure there's ways to do it, but I don't know how to do it. So my advice will not be very useful there. But yeah, thank you every guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys check out Jermaine's social handles in the chat below. Also, you guys can sign up for our free weekly newsletter. We send you guys a free market update every single Sunday, doing similar analysis we did on the platform today. Like the video, subscribe, And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you again for coming in today, Strat Soldier.
Hey, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. See you later, guys.